She's a multi-platinum powerhouse.
And her ability to connect with people through songs is maybe better than anybody ever.
Who made her name in country music.
And all you're ever gonna be is me.
She just had a charge in her that was twice her age.
For a decade, she's been building an empire and an image.
I think that you could make an argument that Taylor is the anti-Miley.
From the branding to the boys.
Mayer, Lautner, Kennedy, Styles.
She's as cute as a truckload of baby ducks.
So your advice to her then in the love life?
A shotgun. A shotgun.
She's shaking up the music world.
I really like to challenge myself musically, kind of push the envelope.
Tonight, in the CNN Spotlight, the newly crowned Princess of Pop, Taylor Swift.
I can't even believe that this is real.
The Country Music Awards, November 2007.
I can't even believe this, and this is definitely the highlight of my senior year. Thank you, CMA.
A big night and a big prize for Taylor Swift, nabbing the CMA Horizon Award for Best New Artist.
I mean, I'm not even like an adult yet legally. It's really exciting.
Barely 18 years old and owning country music. A CMA win, a platinum record, and a Grammy nomination.
I mean, I never imagined that my life would be this magical.
Taylor Allison Swift has been writing her own fairy tale since she was born.
You want to see your daughter?
Yeah.
She's all dolled up and ready.
Oh my God.
Here she is, just a few days old. Taylor posted the home video for fans who pre-ordered her latest album, 1989, named for the year she was born.
But I don't want to ever hear from this kid that we never did anything for her.
Yes.
Not ever.
Taylor had a privileged and idyllic childhood. Both her parents had careers in finance, and she and her little brother Austin were raised on a 12-acre Christmas tree farm in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Look.
Dolly Moore and her son Andrew Orth lived next door to the Swift family. Dolly babysat Taylor for years.
I didn't have a little granddaughter, so she kind of filled that space for me. I loved her beautiful, almost white hair and her little clear blue eyes. You just wanted to hug her because she really was such a sweetheart.
She was a fantastically charismatic little child.
Orth, a professional photographer, snapped photo after photo of Taylor for more than a decade.
Every time I took that camera and just pointed it at her, boom, 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 boom. And that's when I told her parents, this girl is going to be a superstar.
Taylor was a natural and a ham.
There are great videos of a very, very young Taylor Swift just running around the house at 2, 3 years old, singing pop and country hits. Her hair is all over the place. You can even tell, even at that young age, that there was something special about her.
I love the fact that she's got stars with her name.
She had grade school teachers Robin Klein and Nancy Boyer at hello.
I thought, one day I'm going to read about her, one day I'm going to vote for her, one day she's going to perform open heart surgery.
She was a very talented writer, used very colorful language, mature for a 5th grade writer.
Taylor performed in school plays, proving she had pipes, taking the lead in the local musical Bye Bye Birdie.
Whenever you hear boys whistle, you're what they're whistling at.
Next, she took on the karaoke circuit. Local country singer Pat Garrett ran the contests.
She was poised and handled the crowd quite well for an 11-year-old. I said, when I was 11, I couldn't even tie my shoes. Now, get out of here. She got better as she went along.
What's it? My name's Johnny.
And in the finals, she got to open the Charlie Daniels show.
'Cause I'm the best it's ever been.
Next up,
Star Spangled
the national anthem at a Philadelphia 76ers game.
I think that probably gave her a little taste of what superstardom is like, looking around tens of thousands of people and thinking, this is what I want to do with my life.
Taylor found an audience, but she struggled socially during her middle school years.
I had this, clique of girls that I used to hang out with, and then all of a sudden, they didn't want to hang out with me anymore. And I don't know whether it was because every single weekend I was at songwriter acoustic nights or whether I was trying to do something completely different than what they were trying to do. But all of a sudden, the friends were gone.
Singing became her salvation in these painful years. She poured her heart into her music and relentlessly lobbied her mother to take her to Music Row.
When I was 11, I came to Nashville and just kind of knocked on doors of record labels. Like my mom was waiting in the car. And I had this little demo karaoke CD and would walk into every major record label and was like, hey, I'm Taylor. I'm 11. I want a record deal. Call me.
The phone never rang. But Taylor didn't stop. She mastered the guitar, as seen here in her 2010 concert doc, then wrote and recorded her first song.
Lucky You, she wrote it the day that she learned how to play guitar. And if you listen to that song, it is very characteristic of the way that Taylor will write songs. It's about not fitting in at school, of being the outsider.
Turning hurts into hits would become her trademark. Coming up, Taylor's unstoppable quest for fame. The Swift family sells the farm.
Her dad said, well, we're going. I said, oh, yeah, where are you going? He said, Nashville. I said, how long are you going for? He said, well, the rest of our lives. I said, what?
Summer 2004, 14-year-old Taylor Swift and her family moved to the home of honky tonks, big country stars, and big country dreams.
I think about that move to Nashville like the actresses in the 40s coming to Hollywood. They step off the bus, they've got big dreams, wide eyes.
And in Taylor's case, she was also carrying some middle school angst she had turned into songs.
I think everybody goes through a period of time like that where you're just so alone, and instead of letting it drag me down into a downward spiral, I let music lift me up, and I wrote songs about it.
Baby, when I look at you with them baby blues.
Even in a city full of talented performers like duo Big and Rich, it quickly became clear that Taylor Swift had something special.
Some artists just got magnets on them, You can just feel them when they come in.
She's got the it. She has the it.
RCA saw it and heard it, signing her to a development deal, which she walked away from a year later.
She had a collection of songs that she really wanted to get out there, and RCA didn't think that she was ready.
She landed here, Nashville's Bluebird Cafe, the place for aspiring singer-songwriters. She was heard and quickly signed by a music executive about to launch his own company.
I ended up on a record label that let me write every song on my first album, and I'll never forget it.
Taylor Swift's first single, Tim McGraw, dropped in June 2006.
But when you think Tim McGraw, I hope you think my favorite song.
It was from her debut album, Taylor Swift.
My album is selling freakishly amounts of, I can't even believe the way that it's selling right now.
And he says, our song is a slam and scream doors.
The single Our Song went to #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. That made her the youngest person in history to write and perform a #1 country song.
The first of many firsts. It was a platinum effort right out of the gate. She was just 16.
Taylor Swift tapped into a young market that the country music industry was basically ignoring, and they were young girls.
Oh my gosh, it was like the best moment of my life.
One thing that makes Taylor Swift unique is her relationships with fans. That's thanks in part to social media.
MySpace has been one of the things that launched me as an artist.
She had an energy in social media that no one had really done up to that point. And yeah, she was connecting with her fans because she was on there talking to them all the time.
Currently hanging out with my band in downtown Philadelphia.
MySpace morphed into video blogs, Instagram, and Twitter.
If you follow her on Twitter or on Instagram, you feel like you could be best friends with Taylor Swift.
She works hard to connect with followers in the real world, too, hosting hour-long parties for randomly picked fans after every concert.
She would go around to everybody in the room. She'd have a conversation with them, and how'd you like the show?
Frankie Ballard toured with Taylor in 2011 and says nobody connects with an audience like she does.
Oh, hi, Nashville.
You know, I went to Taylor's show here in Nashville a year or so ago.
Thank you for coming tonight.
I'd never seen anything like it. I swear a couple times I felt Taylor was looking at me. The energy connection and the personal connection with her audience, I would compare it to Springsteen, but it was a level above. The energy between her and the fans, it's phenomenal.
Good night, Nashville.
It helps that she has Bruce Springsteen's songwriting skills.
Taylor's one of the greatest songwriters ever to put a pencil to a piece of paper.
Many Nashville artists agree.
I go back to this song 15 that she wrote. What a knockdown lyric that is. First time I heard her sing it was at a little writer's night in New York City several years ago, and she sang that, and I went, God, it was Vince Gill, Trisha Yearwood, Taylor Swift, and me. She hits 15, and Vince is going, wow, and Trisha's like, holy cow, listen to this lyric coming out of this girl. But I miss screaming and fighting and kissing in the rain.
John Rich co-wrote this song with Taylor Swift after she called him out of the blue.
I said, yeah, come on over. And she pulls that guitar out and has some words already down. She starts tearing into this song, The Way I Loved You. And I said, damn, that's great. She said, yeah, you like it? I said, yeah, let's work on the verses. And so it was 90 minutes, 2 hours max, and the song was done. That's the way I loved you.
The Way I Loved You is about dating Mr. Right while loving Mr. Wrong.
So Taylor said, I brought that idea, that title, to John. He was able to relate to it. You know, he's that complicated, frustrating, messy kind of guy in relationships.
Yeah.
There you go, John.
There you go.
Is it true?
Of course it's true. Yeah.
That song, along with 15, are on Fearless, Taylor's second album.
Fearless had her first crossover hit, which was You Belong With Me.
And she became the first country star to ever win a VMA.
Best female video goes to Taylor Swift.
And as she was accepting the award, Kanye West bum rushed the stage, grabbed the mic away from her.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
This became a media frenzy.
What a jerk.
He is a dope.
I just think he's an idiot. He's just a waste.
Poor Kanye got a little nuts last night.
It's the night that she went supernova. Even people who knew her in passing before really wanted to know who this artist was.
The night I saw Kanye pull the mic out of her hand, I felt like somebody had just disrespected my little sister.
Wow.
Like I went, you know what, if I'd have been in that room, I'd have whooped his ass. I'd have tried.
Ahead, bad breakups have Taylor seeing red.
Your advice to her then in the love life?
A shotgun. A shotgun.
It was early 2012. Taylor Swift's worldwide tour was anything but mean. She just won her 6th Grammy and had become one of the hottest country artists of the decade.
There's something on that girl that is bigger than she is. And when she comes in the room, you go, who is that?
Then,
Once upon a time, a few mistakes ago,
6 years after launching her career in country, Swift releases Red, an album with a whole lot of pop.
Why test the waters there? You know, she's doing so great in country.
This had to be because she was being true to herself.
He really diversified her sound, which was not only a way for her to just expand her songwriting overall, but also a way to gain a new audience.
I remember when we broke up the first time.
In true Taylor Swift style, the songs were personal and focused on her recent string of rocky romances.
Red is a breakup album, so songs like I Knew You Were Trouble, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together are quintessential Taylor Swift songs of her taking the heartbreaks from her relationships and putting a great hook behind them and turning them into huge pop hits.
The album's lead single was an instant success. Becoming Swift's first song to ever hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
The wordplay in those songs, they're sassy. They're meant to sort of sting a little bit. It was a little bit of a like F you to anyone who'd basically gotten in her way or in her heart's way.
Brilliant, sassy, and instantly relatable.
You can only hope that what you are saying resonates with people and that you're saying something that maybe helps them get through what they're going through.
I guess you didn't care, and I guess I liked that.
For a song like I Knew You Were Trouble, where you're singing about I've fallen for the wrong person before, I've gotten my heart broken. If your heart's broken right now, you're not alone.
That message clearly resonated with fans. Red sold 1.2 million copies in its first week, becoming the fastest-selling album in a decade.
Red was massive. She was no longer just segregated to country radio. That was a really big sort of catalyst in just launching her to the stratosphere.
But personal songs about the boys she dated,
John Mayer, Taylor Lautner, Connor Kennedy, Harry Styles,
had its downside.
She does have a tendency to have these relationships. She falls too hard, too fast, sometimes for the wrong guy, for short periods of time.
Yet the bumps with the boys didn't diminish the brand.
You know how hard it would be to maintain such an image or such a reputation if you weren't that person? It'd be damn near impossible.
Taylor Swift handpicked country sensation Frankie Ballard to tour with her in 2011.
When things go good, you get the credit, and when things go bad, it's your fault. So I still think about her in the back of my head and think, what would Taylor do, you know? What would Taylor do?
WWTD.
I got it tattooed on my chest.
By 2014, Swift was ready for reinvention. She moved from Nashville to New York and swore off the boys, something John Rich and Big Kenny fully support.
Honestly, she's too young for a man in her life anyway.
Listen,
Since
she's
John
too
and I,
young.
So your advice to her then in the love life?
Advice to her is a shotgun.
Swift released a new album, 1989, trading country for straight pop.
I think it's really important to evolve musically. I think it's easier to stay the same, but I really like to challenge myself musically and kind of push the envelope.
And if there was any risk in leaving Nashville behind, it paid off the first week of the album's release.
Not only is it the biggest week for an album in over a decade, it's also Taylor's third consecutive record to sell more than 1 million copies. And if that doesn't cement her as one of the biggest stars on the planet, I don't know what does.
all of the fans she's had with her since the beginning. And then she makes a record like 1989, and of course, all these people are growing up with her.
But after her evolution to pop, country music was missing her, and she heard about it at the CMAs.
You can't turn on the TV or open up a newspaper or click on a website without being reminded of the epidemic we're all facing.
And of course, we're talking about postpartum Taylor Swift disorder.
What do you say to the critics who say, how can you leave country behind?
Can we just get off her back for a minute? She's an artist. She's a songwriter. Let her make whatever music she wants to.
And John Rich says Taylor Swift is still country at heart.
Taylor Swift can make a pop record all day long. But if you look at the lyrics, that is the way country songwriters write songs. She's a country songwriter. She knows what writing a song is all about. She knows what it means to, not sand off the rough edges, but put a magnifying glass on it.
And with her new single, Swift told Good Morning America she has an entirely new message.
People will find anything about you and twist it to where it's weird or wrong or annoying or strange or bad. You have to not only live your life in spite of people who don't understand you, you have to have more fun than they do.
At the moment, Taylor Swift is having a whole lot of fun and shaking it off just fine.